And through the same situation that I just went over with, I was sentenced to 22 and a half years.
It's your girl Cece.
And your boy PC.
Uh huh.
Baby,
Baby,
what
what
we
we
talking
talking
about?
about?
What
What
we
we
talking
talking
about
about
today?
today?
Boom. So this for his first little occurrence, at 19, they gave me my first time getting in trouble. They gave me 3 years in prison for it. But those cases right there, they're like, oh, you sent me to prison, 3 years. I went to prison, 19, like I said, just young, not even thinking about the future anymore. Just like, all right, I'm just gonna get in here. And a lot of times in prison, you're not really. I mean, they have education systems, but if you don't choose to go to education system, you're just hanging out, fighting. You're young, so it's a lot of fighting. It's a lot of fighting in there. Just when you're young, and you've got people from Florida, and there's a lot of cliques in there. So anytime something happens, it's just a fight. So I didn't learn anything, and I didn't even attempt to learn. I might have taken a couple classes, but I didn't even attempt to learn to try to better myself and think about how I was going to get out of that situation. So boom, I came home,
Was 3 years in the change you
mentally, yeah, I think those 3 years changed me mentally for the worse. At that time, for the worse. At that time.
So you want to say doing those 3 years, even though you never did nothing as a juvenile, those 3 years you didn't like make man, I'm not coming back here, but did it just make you worse? Like being in that prison, that environment around those people.
Yeah, that environment around those people it made me worse. Because now I just in there you just go with the mindset you're gonna be by yourself and you gotta fight to stay, all right. And I just didn't I didn't I'm the type that like I just adapted to the environment. I didn't try to like, oh, okay, I can go out there and do this. I just got to adapt to it. And that's how I took it at the time. It's more of an adaptive mindset. But I like that y'all are asking these questions and that y'all are thinkers in here. Because that's very important, think things out. Like if I was like, man, look what I've really done. But at that time I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't really done it yet.
Now, those friends or people that you were hanging out with, like, anyone come visit you? Anyone
No.
Send you any money?
No. Nobody, none of my friends.
Just your mom, family.
Just my mom and my family. They had me in Gainesville. Mom and family, they drive up there to see me. But no friends or family, not a letter from nobody else except from them. That should have been an eye opener at that time. But I got out. When I got out, I went right back to the same friends. And they were now I'm older, like I'm like 21, 22. Now they're doing even more stuff. So now I put myself into getting involved with something, again, I don't know nothing much about. I've been in school most of my life, remember. I don't have a street education like this to even shouldn't even be out there. But I just, sometimes we're attracted to things by our eyes. I see that, I like it, and you should go check it out. But not knowing, there's a proverb that says sometimes you see things that look sweet, not knowing right behind that picture is death or hell or destruction. When you see it and it look good on the front, on the face, but behind it and within it is destruction. So we get tricked like that. So we always gotta be mindful. Think. When you see something that may look good, don't mean it's good. Don't mean it's good. Selling drugs, carrying weapons, doing this, doing that, messing with all these different types of young women or whatever. It's not healthy for us, It leads us into places that we end up don't want to be. But at the end of the day, we make certain choices in the city. We got to take responsibility for it.
So right now, you can see yourself right now, before you did everything you did, what would you tell yourself right now? As a mentor, as somebody who's came from that life, from that prison, all that, but you see yourself right now, as a kid, what would you tell him?
I would tell him, think before you act. Take your time in all your thoughts and decisions. I would tell you to find people to be around that is trying to do the same things you do, that are athletes, that are trying to strive to do better. Be careful of any type of drugs, being around it or who you're riding with. and understand that you can be said that you can make one little decision and it can affect you for a long time. You know, I would tell my younger self to, that you're great. I would say you got a greatness in you, but you got to continue to develop that greatness. And if you do, you may become an NFL star. And I can easily see you be an NFL star. I'll tell them that. You just have to continue to work out harder than everybody else. I'll come out there and I'll work out with you. You know, so that's what I really tell myself. That was let myself know that you're great. It's like everyone of you in here, you have a greatness within you. I'm talking about a great potential. Nobody can stop that potential for yourself. All you are great. You were born with that. No matter what anybody tells you or what you heard, you're great. You just developed that greatness within you. And I'm proud of you. And I just want you to I want you to stay. I don't want you to go to prison. Because you can go to prison for a long time and making a small mistake. That's what I was.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I know you ended up in prison for 20-something years. What during that time helped you to say, hey, going from not having a vision and goals to setting a vision and goals to even getting you here right now?
Okay, so I'm coming to that part now. So after that 3-year sentence, I got out, and like I said, I was hanging out with the same friends. So from there, I got a 22.5-year sentence. So through that sentence, I went to federal prison now. Federal prison is a little different. They can send you anywhere in the United States. So you won't be just residing in Florida, you know.
How old were you at this time?
At this time, I was 24 years old. Good question. At this time, I was 24.
It just blows my mind. No juvenile record. A lot of these guys that are in prison, they started when they were juvenile, prison, not juvie. You gotta realize, no juvenile record. From being 18, 19, started getting in trouble, and look, 3 years off the first charge. It's gotta make you think, like, man, you never done in trouble, but then you go hang out with someone who does something, next thing you know, you're in prison. That just blows my mind. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And when I think about it, back to it, Jimmy, it was crazy. Like I woke up one day, I'm this great athlete, and then now I'm just in prison, and I'm like, what's going? You know,
if you guys sit and think about it, it blows your mind. It's like, man,
but it didn't happen.
It just went from boom to boom, like from A to B like this. I mean, that's gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard on your parents.
Yeah, and that is what ended up really making me start coming to grips with everything. Just so like seeing my mother, when you see your mother cry, man, for something that's negative and it's about you, it takes it deep. It takes a hold of you, right? You're like, man, like, my mom's coming to me on these visits, and every time she's leaving, my family, my niece. I had my niece was very young at the time. She's just wrapping up, and they used to leave. All she did was cry. And just all these stuff just started like wearing down on me. Like finally, the Most High, like, man, give you this correction. What you need to correct yourself, or you're gonna end up worse and worse. And I ended up in some of the worst places in prison. You know, ended up in places where, and that's another thing that made me start seeing reality that people are getting killed in these prisons for little or nothing. The treatment is terrible. This ain't no fun place, y'all. This ain't no fun place to be. People are getting killed in there every day with homemade knives and stuff like that. Some places are very violent. Not all of them. You have some places that aren't that violent, but there's some places that you can get sent to that very violent to live. And there ain't no fun things to do. Any y'all have any questions about any of that?
I know at that age, 20 years probably feels like a life sentence.
Exactly.
How long did it take you to get your mind right?
Good question, man. This is like 2000. My date was 2023. At that time, my date was 2023 without no good behavior or nothing. And this is just 2020 now. So if I was been getting in trouble, I could have still been in prison right now. And if I didn't take some certain classes, I would have still been in prison right now. You know, because I started getting myself together. But it took me about 8 years to tell you the truth to start really getting myself to getting all the way focused. Because I was focused like when I did get incarcerated, what I did is take a lot of classes from day one. I was all right, you know. I didn't have any problems with too many problems. You don't have to just because of technology and stuff like that. And just everything was on the phone. You know, when I got out,
Did it feel like a new world when you got out?
Some things, it was like the technology, you know. because everything, a job application is done on your phone. Everywhere you go, you basically have to have your phone to do something with it. And at first it was like, man, I gotta always have it. But what I did was just got on it and studied. I go to YouTube. I'm always like willing to go and look and to study to figure out how to do something, as well as ask questions. So don't ever be afraid to ask a question. Right? And don't be ashamed to ask a question.
What I said?
Now, getting to the time, I just want to go over a few more things with y'all. This is right quick. Thank you. These are just a few bullet points that I just want to go over with y'all. Any questions before I go on about my incarceration, about jail, about anything that's going on with it? Anything. Y'all good?
What was the biggest thing you learned from prison other than not breaking the law?
Biggest thing I learned from prison,
Biggest takeaway.
my biggest takeaway from what I learned from prison was my spiritual strength, my relationship with my Creator is what helped me get through that. You know what I mean? And once I started focusing on creating and focusing on being more positive, that's what my biggest takeaway was, that relationship that I got with my Creator, with God. And with that, and just realizing that without God, I couldn't have made it through that. There was times like I could have been. There was times I was thinking, man, am I gonna make it out of here alive? But so that relationship with God for me was one of the biggest takeaways, other than of course my beautiful life. And those things like that, those are the biggest takeaways for me. Yes, sir.
When I was growing up, when you're young, you don't pay attention to a lot of advice from the people that are trying to mentor. Somebody used to always tell me, you are you hang with. Is that a true story?
That's a true story. That's a true story. Who you hanging with is going to be very key. As a young man growing up, and the things that you do. Because even if it doesn't affect you right in the moment, somebody may see it like you may have an opportunity to come, but you're seen around this crowd right here, you may lose the opportunity. You're not, you just may be there for, just because you're around certain people can have a negative effect on you. So be around positive people. Work to be around positive people. Like I said, don't be, and if there's no positive people there at the time, don't be afraid of being by yourself. Don't be afraid of being by yourself. But you have a positive community here, so that's a positive thing. So even if you go to school and everybody's over there doing this, that, and the other, don't be scared to set yourself apart. Don't be scared to, you see how that confidence, you have to raise your hand. It takes confidence to do that. You got confidence in yourself. I'm not saying that the rest of y'all don't, but it's a good example that don't be scared to ask questions, like speak up, because you're great. You're great. You're great. You're great. All y'all are great. And feed that confidence within yourself. Ask the questions like your coach said. Put that hand up. Even if somebody might think it's a dumb question. There's no dumb questions. There's no dumb questions. If you need to know something, it may be the simplest thing. Oh, man, how do you spell dog? In your mind, like everybody goes like, oh man, people gonna laugh at you. But if you have a question, I just say that to say, whatever it is, just ask. Don't be ashamed. That's how you're gonna learn. That's how you build confidence. That's how you show confidence. And that's what you see among people. This person's a confident person. It's good to have that with yourself as a young man growing up. All y'all, I really want all y'all are great. And that's one of the things you can take out things I want y'all to do. Have a great opinion. It's development. One person may be this far ahead, you may be right here. It doesn't mean you're going to get there, it doesn't mean you're going to get further. But you got to work at it.
Right.
You got to work at it. You got to practice. It's just like what Coach having you here. Practice. You hear that beat going up, boom. It's practice, repetition. Keep repeating it. You know what I mean? You keep repeating it, and you get better over time. Practice. So just like we said, aim high as possible. The sky is the limit. The sky is not the limit. So there is no limit. Only the limit that you put on yourself. Aim high, aim high, aim high. I want to be a CEO of a company. I want to own 3 or 4 trucks, man. See this cup is half full in life. And what that means is that there's something in the cup. You know what I mean? It could, yes, it could be somebody sees it half empty, but I see it as half full. You know what I mean? I got something. I may not have everything, but I got something. Y'all follow me on that? Follow me on that, Lord? See, so it's like a more of a positive outlook to look at life. And I ain't mean I got everything, but I got something. I got something there. You know what I mean? So that's something that y'all can take with you. You know, look at things after. Don't say, oh man, my cup's half empty. I put the other half back. Look at, I got something in my cup.
You use some of that mentality when you were in prison, you were looking at those 20 years, like, instead of saying, like you said earlier, I got 20 years, I want to do whatever.
Yes.
Now, instead of just, you gotta change your mentality, like, man, look, I got 20 years, I gotta better myself in 20 years.
Yeah. And when that happened with me is, yeah, after having those 20 years, and then I started coming across a lot of guys who had life sentences. And then I was like, oh, my 20 years, 20 years is a lot. But these guys have life sentences, and some of them have already been incarcerated for 20 years or better. So I didn't have to use that approach. Yeah.
You ever run anyone who's in their fighting case and then you got a life sentence?
Got a life sentence while in
Yeah.
prison? Yes, I miss people.
What's that like?
But for them,
It's devastating, right?
yeah, it's devastating. I met a guy who had 8 years going in and ended up with life sentence. Got into a big riot, you know, and during this riot, a person that he was fighting lost their life. He got a life sentence right now, still fighting. Yeah. Now he's been incarcerated for 40 years.
You guys understand that, right? I mean, somebody went to prison for 5 years, 8 years. While they were in prison, they caught another charge and ended up doing life, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay. Yes, sir. So right here, the next page, 5 P's. This goes on. Y'all always remember the 5 P's. This proper planning, preparation, or practice prevents poor performance. So we just stick to our athletes, our athletics with that. You know, your proper planning before you go into a match, your practice, your preparation, is going to prevent you from performing poorly. You know what I mean? The more you practice on your craft, the more you get ready, the better you're going to be at. And that's with anything in life. Just plan it out and put that practice, prepare, and that's going to prevent you from poor performance. You can do this mentally. Mentally go, sit back and kind of mentally go, you know, okay, this is going to be how I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's planning. So planning, that's practicing. Just keep that work ethic in practice. Again, like I say, work ethic. I started out as a package handler. I started out as the lowest at my job. And now I'm a manager at that job. You know, and I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to look to something higher to get to eventually. You know what I mean? So have that strong work ethic. Everything you come to practice. You know, everybody has a date, but come to practice, work hard. Work hard at what you do. School. Work hard at what you do. Your relationships with your family. Work hard at that. You don't take that passion to everything you do. And you're gonna succeed. And you're gonna be a small percentage. So for that small percentage, you're always gonna make yourself excel. Because everybody doesn't have a strong work that's willing to. They might just go mediocre. I'm just gonna do. You know, I'm just gonna give a little bit, but I'm not gonna give my all. And so always be willing to, you know, go the extra mile, work harder than the other person, and be confident in yourself. You know, don't worry about, oh man, this guy's really showing off. This guy's trying to do better than everybody else. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about what you're trying to do. That's what's most. He blesses all y'all with continuous, health and strength. Man. Thanks for Coach Rivera for allowing me to be here, with y'all this year. My wife, my little brother, and my nephew. These the next generations here. I want to thank y'all for coming through. I want to thank Miss Francis, one of the ladies who helped me get here. Miss Camila Escalera, she's another person who helped me get here. Judge Irie, another person who helped me get here through the system. Mr. Ali. Oh man, you can help do that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Okay, now let's see.
Bye.